Have you ever been mid-sentence with your partner and realized they weren't really listening? Now, I'm not talking about when you're in the middle of a fight or even in a tense moment. They just were somewhere else. And you finish the thought anyway, then let it go. That moment, that small, forgettable exchange, it's exactly what over 40 years of couples research says is what determines whether a couple stays connected or slowly drifts apart. Hi, I'm Monica Burford, a licensed marriage and family therapist based in Sacramento, California. I work with couples who haven't given up, but have slowly drifted into a side-by-side loneliness that they can't quite name. And today, I want to talk to you about the concept from couples research that changed my own understanding and approach to those day-to-day interactions. Doctors John and Julie Gottman have spent over 40 years studying what sets happy couples apart from those couples who are together but unhappy or end up separating. They observed thousands of couples in conflict, conversation, or in ordinary moments. And one of the most significant findings was about how couples respond to each other between the arguments. They call these bids for connection. A bid is any attempt, verbal or nonverbal, for some sort of positive connection, conversation, humor, affection, or support. And here's what makes this concept so interesting to me. Most bids don't look like bids at all. They're not a, I need to talk to you about something, or a planned date, or a meaningful conversation. They're much, much smaller. A simple, hey, look at this, or a sigh at the end of a long day, or you're never going to believe what happened to me tonight, or pointing out through the car window at something that you notice. Those are bids. They're saying, without saying it, I want to connect with you right now. When a bid happens, there are 3 ways to respond. Let's say that your partner just said, wow, it's really nice outside today. You can turn towards your partner by acknowledging their bid in some ways, big or small, with a simple look towards the window and a nod, or saying something like, wow, it is really nice outside today. Why don't we go on a walk later? You can turn away from your partner, not in a mean way, but maybe you're distracted or don't acknowledge what they said, or you hear it but you don't respond, or you might bring something else completely unrelated, like, did I leave my shoes outside earlier today? Or you can turn against by dismissing it, minimizing it, or criticizing it, like you're always going on about the weather, I'm trying to read. The Gottmans discovered that husbands that were headed for divorce disregarded their wives' bids for connection about 82% of the time, while husbands in stable relationships disregarded their wives' bids just 19% of the time. While wives headed for divorce act preoccupied when their husbands made a bid for their attention about 50% of the time, while happily married wives act preoccupied in response to their husbands' bids just 14% of the time. According to the Gottmans, those everyday moments in a relationship are opportunities to build your emotional bank account, the reserves that you have in your relationship to get through the tough times. Couples with a higher rate of positive engagement have more access to things like humor and an overall more positive view of their own partner during conflict, almost like if they had additional reserves to pull from for the tough times. In some ways, this is invaluable because it is what can help de-escalate conflict when you're in the middle of it. Every bid you turn towards is a deposit, and every bid that goes unmet is a withdrawal. Now, here's the part that matters most for couples. You don't have to be neglectful to have an empty emotional bank account. You can be present in every practical sense, taking care of things, showing up for the big stuff, and still be turning away from your partner a dozen times a day without realizing it. Being on your phone at dinner time, without looking up or really listening, the response that addresses the content of what your partner said but misses what they were actually asking for. They might say, oh, I'm so tired today. And you might say something like, you should go to bed earlier. That's not an unkind response, but it missed the bid. What the bid was really asking for wasn't advice. It was, do you see how I'm feeling right now? And when that goes unmet consistently, people stop asking. They quietly stop reaching for each other. Good news is that turning towards doesn't require putting everything down and having a meaningful conversation every single time your partner makes a bid. It requires an acknowledgement, a signal that says, I heard you, more often than not. You had a long day, huh? Or looking up from your phone when your partner asks a question, or laughing at the thing they pointed at, or asking one follow-up question. The research is clear. It's not the size of the response, it's the consistency of reaching back. So here's something I'd want you to try this week. For one day, just notice. Notice when your partner makes a bid, however small, a comment, a look, showing you something, and ask yourself honestly, did I turn towards that or was I somewhere else? Have I been turning away, against? You don't have to do anything dramatic with what you notice. You're just learning to see a pattern that's been invisible because you can't change what you can't see. If any of this resonates with you, or if you've struggled to find ways to turn towards each other, I offer free 45-minute video consultations for couples. It's a chance for us to talk about your specific dynamic and see what it would take to shift it. I hope that you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.